For a little impact section, cultural impact. So, like I said, they passed the Meat Inspection Act after this, and also the Pure Food and Drug Act. I don't know, a couple things that supposedly they got to go inspect things and different regulations. And, to me, I don't buy that did all that much. And here's another way. Okay, the president at the time, this book comes out, Teddy Roosevelt reads it, and he thinks Sinclair is full of shit. He does. And he's like, dude, this is all horse shit. And then he calls Sinclair into his office. He meets up with him. He's like, is this bullshit or not? And Sinclair's like, no, it's not bullshit. It's what's going on out there, dude. I worked for 7 weeks in the meatpacking plants. I went undercover. And so he's like, okay, we'll pass these things to fucking do this, for the cleanliness. However, Sinclair said about the reception, he said everyone missed the point. He said, I aimed at the public's heart, and by accident, I hit it in the stomach. Because your idea of this book is the sanitary conditions and the way that the meat is butchered and the meat is handled and how that causes disease and how people aren't healthy. That is such a huge issue. Yes, ginormous. Okay. The bigger issue, bro, is the work, is the time, is the work conditions and the little pay and then the living conditions that are provided to you after work in the city. It was about the American nightmare, and that is that, and then human relations, people preying on each other like predator and prey in the frickin' jungle, man. He was really trying to put across that, how fucked up people treat each other. That's what's more, the control people have, the grafting, the way people say, oh yeah, you can have a job if you do it for nothing and I get most of the money. Yeah, no problem. That is the real thing of the jungle. I think he was getting at. That's what I got, dude. I mean, you got to look no further than fucking Ona getting raped and threatened that, they're like, dude, your whole family's going to lose jobs and none of you are going to be able to eat. And then where are you going to go? What are you going to do? You're just going to die. And then even if they stayed there and they're all just dying anyways. It's so bad. That was the point, It could have been them going to a job where everything was clean, good, clean working conditions. He should have wrote that book to get it across. He's like, yeah, dude, it's the fucking. I mean, man, I've had jobs before that were on paper easy, but are so mind numbing and in around negative people and people treating you like shit, even though they weren't like physically hitting you, like people just like treating you so bad mentally and having a weird way of sexually harassing people. Dude, I mean, just that is so vulgar and it's so viral in today's workplace culture. This hierarchy people have over each other and how it consumes the hours you spent. Like, what the fuck is that night? Oh, night. I will take this podcast down if the Illuminati lets me in. But what's with this 9 to 5, Monday through Friday horse shit? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, God. Same time, if I get a full-time job, I will be so grateful. That's a lot of the impact. There's never been a film made of this. Never. Now, his other known book that I did a book report on, Oil, they made a movie out of. They made There Will Be Blood. Now, Oil, if I compare and contrast the two, it's brilliant because they're two, they're opposite viewpoints of the American industrial machine, capitalism versus socialism, because the jungle is from the worker's point of view and oil is from the owner's point of view. Owner, corporate, the boss's point of view. That's what oil is. It's about the rich dude and him trying to expand his business and the son learning about it and going back and forth on it. But even in, the film version of Oil, There Will Be Blood, they really don't talk about the strikes. They don't talk about the economic problems between the workers and the owners. They don't explore that. And I think that's on purpose. And I think it doesn't help my algorithm as someone who's trying to up the views and is willing to sell out. I'm willing to sell out, guys. You're just not giving me anything, so I got to talk about the jungle. But it's a little weird. It's such a great book, and there's not been a fucking movie made out of it or a miniseries. It's like you'd think this would be a gimme. You'd think there'd be a bunch of versions of this. They're going to get on the second version of Harry Potter, you know? I don't know. They've probably sold more Harry Potter books than The Jungle. I've met more people that have read Harry Potter than The Jungle, to be fair. They made a film version of this in 1914, a silent film, and it's lost. Supposedly. It's gone. It's burnt up. It's gone. Coincidence? I think not. Can't be. I mean, I don't know. And there's been no formal play. There's been a play called St. Joan of the Stockyards, which takes place of this time period. You know, anything having to do with the stockyards, Chicago, it's kind of unavoidable. It's deep in the lexicon. What do you call it? The zeitgeist. Yeah, man. I mean, another one of the biggest impacts this had, I guess I should say, is the quote he had. Upton Sinclair said, "It is difficult to get a man to understand something when his salary depends upon his not understanding it." Yeah, dude. I get that.